Hey everybody, Michael Snyder here, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is May 29th, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the low clouds socked in across a lot of western Washington, southwest BC, some of the coastal areas, even down towards Portland as well. A lot of that should be burning off during the day today, but look at across the mountains. If you get up there and do a hike across the Cascades, you can really get into that glorious sunshine. You can see Mount Rainier here on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. You can look across Montana and see some clouds flowing across, but a lot of sunshine across eastern Washington, Oregon out there as well. Taking a look at the mid-level water vapor loop, this low pressure system here is going to spread some thunderstorms through Oregon, Idaho, and Montana here for the next few days. You can kind of see this troughing here, keeping us seasonable temperatures here across the Pacific Northwest. But like everybody wants to know here, you probably heard some chattering about a heat wave potentially coming here, and we will take a look at that in a little bit more detail today. This is Memorial Day forecast, National Weather Service, Seattle. High temperatures, depending on where you are here, could get up to 70 degrees here. Cloudy early and then clearing, as you saw with that visible satellite imagery. National Weather Service Spokane here showing a picture of their office. Nice image there. This is high temperature forecast today. Western Oregon, look at Portland 77, Salem, Corvallis, Eugene 78, and much cooler along the coastline there. So you want to cool down, get out to the coast there, and definitely warmer temperatures across the Willamette Valley shown there. This is a reminder those rivers, lakes are running high. There's a lot of snow melt going on out there, and water lowers your body temperature 30 times faster than air. And of course, that can lead to hypothermia, so wear your life jacket out there. Be careful. Taking a look at SeaTac yesterday, 64, 4 degrees below average, but it was quite a nice day here. I mean, nowhere near that record high set back in 1983 of 92, but I'll take it. There was a lot of sunshine out there. It was a pretty nice day. We're going to remain seasonable for the next few days before we potentially warm up. We'll take a look at that here in a moment. Day 1, thunderstorm Alec, Oregon, Idaho, Montana. Day 2, again, and this could cause some flooding here with the heavy rainfall associated with these thunderstorms here, especially across burn scar areas. And just a reminder, it doesn't have to be a forest fire from last year. It can be just over the last several years here across the region. So watch out for that if you're in the backcountry, especially. Day 1, excessive rainfall does include southern Oregon. Day 2 extends across eastern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana here. And day 3, again, similar areas. Now, this is kind of showing that they are paying attention here. The National Weather Service is talking about Northern California on into southern Oregon here. You can see precipitable water anomalies are pretty high there, and you're going to have some CAPE, and you could have some of those heavy rainfall rates, ½ inch to 1 inch per hour. And of course, the recent burn scars across some of the area will be more susceptible. This is looking at the NAM3KM 12Z run, composite reflectivity. As we go through the afternoon today, you can kind of see those thunderstorms popping up here across southern Oregon, maybe southern Idaho, some across Montana as well. Not expecting precipitation, western Washington, Oregon, up through southwest BC either. But looking at Tuesday, look at these storms build again. You can see some of this red in here, so some potentially heavy downpours associated with the thunderstorm activity as we go through Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we're going to do that again. Look at some of these storms. You could really get some, localized flooding here, flash flooding here with some of these storms here as you go on in through Wednesday afternoon. This is looking at a wider view of things at 18,000 feet. Here's Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon. You can see the upper level low spinning off the California coastline, helping to spin some of those thunderstorms out there. Put that into motion. You see this troughing here, keeping us seasonable here along the Pacific Northwest. Excuse me. Then you can see the ridge building up through Canada here. So it just depends on this trough and this ridge. You're going to play this cat and mouse game here, but you can clearly see this ridge is building here. It's been showing up for several runs now in the models. More on that here in a moment. We're looking at sea surface temperature anomalies now, and I wanted to show you something going on. So you're getting this warm water building across the equatorial Pacific, and you can imagine that steamy, warm air mass there, and it's creating some kind of a gradient here that's enhancing the subtropical jet stream and moving that into kind of Southern California area and kind of enhancing some of the severe weather potential across some of the Great Plains the last few days. Now, you can see this in the jet stream. This is 18,000 feet. There's Hawaii, there's Australia, there's North America here, and you can see this jet stream, pretty persistent feature here, likely enhanced by the developing El Nino there across the equatorial Pacific. Keep going out there and look at this just redevelopment of systems out here. The subtropical jet will remain active here as we go on into early on into mid-June here. Pretty impressive that El Nino's effects are already being felt. This is looking at the GFS ensemble mean. Alaska, Washington, California there, 18,000 feet. This is hot off the presses here. So we'll put this into motion. There goes our trough, keeping us seasonable here for the next few days. But as we move towards the end of the week here, You can see the ridge start to build. Actually, we have more data that can be had from this, I believe. Let's go ahead and scroll ahead a bit more here. Yes. So you can see the ridge building across Canada. Something similar to what the European is showing as this trough kind of weakens and dives back into the Gulf of Alaska. Look at this ridge building here. This would be a very warm scenario here across the Pacific Northwest as we go on into its next weekend and the following week coming up here. And this is looking at 16-day precipitation anomaly, and you can just see the huge deficit here. No precipitation expected. Western Oregon, Washington, BC, a lot of BC as well. You can see the enhancement where some thunderstorm activity will occur through California, Southern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, including Nevada here. But look at this bone dry signal for the next couple weeks all the way out through June 13th. This is the National Blend of Models daily 2-meter temperature. And as I scroll through one day at a time, you can see today, tomorrow, a little bit of a cool down here, but still some nice seasonable temperatures out there. Not bad. Here's the 31st, Seattle, only mid-60s, upper 60s maybe. And you jump into Thursday, we start to warm up. Look at Friday, mid-70s, upper 70s for Western Oregon there, and starting to warm up into Eastern Washington again, up towards the 90-degree mark by the time you get towards Saturday. Look at the 70s, 80s into the Willamette Valley. And you can see some of the valleys into BC warming up quite nicely as we go through next weekend as well. Probably getting up towards 80 on Sunday and Monday of the following week here. Look at that, Portland, maybe up even towards 90 here as we go. So pretty warm temperatures coming here for the Pacific Northwest as we go on into the following week. This is looking at 850 millibar temperatures here. So now watch this. This GFS is hot off the presses here. You can see the seasonably cool temperatures with the onshore flow here. But then watch the ridge build over Canada here. And you can clearly see the temperatures warming up as we go on in through Saturday, Sunday. I mean, look at this signal here for some of Western Washington, Oregon, British Columbia here as we go on into Sunday night and onto the following Monday here. Very warm temperatures would be associated with this. Offshore flow, compressional heating, thermal trough coming up the coastline here. So yeah, we have the potential to warm up significantly here as we go on in towards this weekend and the following week. Here's looking at mean sea level pressure. I just want to kind of show you the signature of the thermal trough that would be associated with that warm up. So as we go on into the future here, we're going to scroll through Thursday here, and you can see the high pressure here setting up across Canada. That's sinking air. By default, the thermal trough will form, and you get that offshore flow across, southwest BC, western Washington, western Oregon. So just kind of a nice classic thermal trough signature here with that warmth coming up. This is 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook here. The bullseye across Pacific Northwest, 8 to 14 day. This would go through June 11th, and this is precipitation signal here with that thunderstorm activity here and drier than normal conditions expected. This will probably update here in the next couple hours, so we'll look at that one again tomorrow. But this is max temperature departure from average. I updated this again today, April 29th through May 28th, and you can see the below average signal here across much of the Pacific, above average signal temperature-wise, I should say, across much of the Pacific Northwest. Some of these areas 8+ degrees above normal here across the Cascades. Seattle probably going to be doing its warmest May ever as well, so you can clearly see we've been warmer than normal here across the Pacific Northwest. And precipitation, we're running a little bit on the flip side here. We're below average across much of the west here. I have some groundwater that runs in my backyard, and it is already dried up here, and it's hard to get it to dry out even in the summertime. So you can clearly see that we're going to be dealing with some water issues. We're probably going to get some drier than normal conditions, or even some drought start to be reestablished here across some of the Pacific Northwest if we continue this below average precipitation. But anyway, yeah, some of this low cloud will burn off on the day today. We're going to watch that heat wave coming up here bit by bit. We'll watch these thunderstorms as we go day by day as well. Again, there's excessive rainfall outlooks possible for Oregon, Eastern Oregon, Idaho, and Montana for the next 3 days with this thunderstorm development. So heads up if you're out in the backcountry there, and watch out for those high, fast, cold flowing rivers and streams across the Pacific Northwest here. But anyway, yeah, we'll do this again tomorrow. I'll probably be out chasing again later this week. I'll bring my equipment with me, and I'll do my daily briefings as normal out there also. So hope you guys are liking the videos. Leave some comments below, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.